Well, Gator fans, this is a massive recruiting weekend for the Gators, and we're going to get you caught up on the highlights today and tell you what we're hearing on different kids that'll be in the swamp and a couple who won't be in the swamp this weekend. Let's start with a head to head recruiting battle with the GOAT, Nick Savin. All right. Mincy, Daytona Beach, Mainland, teammate of LJ McCray, who Florida pulled just a little over a week ago. Supposedly, he is visiting Gainesville. This is big to get him in town over Alabama because obviously Bama is pushing hard for his services as well. He's 6'3", 180-pound safety, like I said, out of Daytona Beach, Mainland. He is a four-star athlete, and I do think LJ McCray being committed to Florida helps us here. The two have a good friendship. It would be neat to play together. We're the hometown team. These are the battles that Florida needs to win. I've talked about this in video after video. First, you have a hat on the table with the big guys. Next step is you are beating head-to-head the top programs, the Alabamas, the Georgias, the LSUs. This is an opportunity right here for Florida to do just that. All right, another player we're going to talk about, Napier Johnson. He is visiting Colorado this weekend. He's a 6'4", 300-pound defensive lineman out of Dublin, Georgia. He's flirting with FSU and Georgia a little bit. I actually heard a little bit of Georgia smoke today. He's taking an official visit to Colorado. I don't think there's anything to worry about yet, but UF should work hard to get him back on campus before signing day. Maybe the Florida State game would be a good opportunity for that to happen. They're going to need to continue to recruit him, even though he is committed. Lots of places want him. You've got to stay after him. Probably the most important guy left on Florida's board is Jordan Seaton. He is visiting Colorado this weekend. He's the number one offensive tackle in the country. Clearly, UF needs offensive linemen. He officially visited UF already, right? That was when we had that giant sign in the student section that rolled down that said Seaton in the swamp. He's visiting Coach Prime this weekend, though, and Colorado has a night game against number 16 Oregon State. It's a big one. I do think it's interesting timing. I'm sure this was set before this all happened, but Deion probably didn't do himself any favors in the last week when he really blasted his offensive linemen, guys that he brought in, transfer portal guys, where he essentially said, they're not good enough. I'm going to go have to find some different ones this off season. Can't imagine that sits particularly well. And then he just demoted his offensive coordinator, Sean Lewis, who arguably was his best offseason hire. Pat Shurmur's going to call plays this weekend, which is also interesting because he was an analyst, which means Deion is going to have to demote an on-the-field coach so that Shurmur can call plays. He's not demoting Lewis, though, because Lewis is going to be the person that's actually signaling the calls to the offense. So interested to see who he demotes there, but kind of a lot of controversy and turmoil in Colorado right now. So I would think that would make it less appealing. We'll see. He's got lots of schools after him, though. Alabama, Oregon, UF. And like I said, on that official visit to Colorado, Florida needs offensive linemen. Jordan Seaton is the most important guy left on the board. But the highest ranked guy left on the board is Jeremiah Smith. He is the number one overall player in the entire country, wide receiver committed to Ohio State. And for a guy who says he's 100% committed, he's pretty active with Florida, Florida State, Miami. He is a South Florida kid, and I can see the draw to staying home, right? But I do think he has a really good relationship with the coaching staff at Ohio State. So he would need to see a lot from any of those Florida schools to be willing to flip or decommit from Ohio State. So it is interesting, though, that he continually keeps coming back for these visits. He also has a great relationship with DJ Lagway, who's obviously our quarterback for the 2024 class. So I'm sure DJ's putting the full court press on for him as well. It's rumored that Cam Coleman is also going to be in Gainesville on Saturday. He is a 5-star wide receiver that is committed currently to Texas A&M. 2 5-star wide receivers on campus at the same time would be massive. And listen, Jimbo Fisher's seat is a pretty hot at Texas A&M. This is a good one for Florida to keep up with and really continue to put pressure, because I could see where anybody committed to Texas A&M may be having second thoughts at this moment. It's not a particularly stable program. We don't know if their coaching staff's going to be there this offseason. So Cam Coleman, rumored he will be in the Swamp. Interested to see if that really happens. Amaris Williams will also be in the Swamp. He is a Florida commit, but Ohio State is staying on him here. So us getting him back on campus is big for sure. The Gators, this is another one that they just really need to lock him in, keep on him like he's uncommitted, really put the pressure on, because there are a lot of schools after him, and he has been taking visits, looking around. So the Gators really need to solidify that this weekend. Jaden Bow is also going to be in Gainesville. He is an Arkansas commit, 3-star running back. Rivals has him as a 4-star. He's going to be in the Swamp this weekend. Florida could use another running back in this class. So I've heard that the coaching staff is really high on him. This is another name to pay attention to. It's also official visit weekend for Favor Edwin. He is a 3-star offensive tackle, 6'8", 290, out of Georgia. Auburn is the overwhelming favorite to land him, at least according to On3. This is a huge recruit. He is a big kid, obviously, going to add some weight, but UF likes to develop and mold their offensive linemen. And listen, we talk about this on the show all the time. We need offensive linemen. It is a very hard position to evaluate at the high school level. So what do? You throw numbers at it. You sign as many as you possibly can, and you're hoping that they pan out. So while a 3-star offensive tackle may not be the most flashy recruit that we'll see, it's one of the most important, because Florida desperately needs talented offensive linemen. They need big, strong, fast guys. And listen, it's great to get all of these guys to the Swamp. It's a win, obviously, but we're gonna need a good showing on the field tomorrow. You're gonna need to see the Gators move the ball. Do you think 5-star wide receivers in the stands want to see offensive fireworks? Because I do. They want to be able to picture themselves in this offense. They want to be able to see where they can contribute immediately. They need this team to look proficient. They need this team to look well run. We need play calling to be good. So how Florida performs on the field is going to be a large part of whether or not these visits are successful. Well, hopefully we will have some good news for you as the weekend wraps, and we'll do a check-in on how the staff did and what these recruits thought. Make sure that you are subscribed so you don't miss that. Let's go get a win tomorrow in the Swamp. Go Gators.